Philadelphia just built the most famous starting five in basketball: Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. Then an analytics projection dropped a result that sounds completely insane. The best projected Sixers lineup in the exercise did not include LeBron. It did not include Jaylen Brown either. Instead, Basketball Index's custom lineup tool gave a group of Maxey, Edgecombe, Dean Wade, Dominick Barlow, and Embiid a projected net rating of plus 11.6 points per 100 possessions. That does not mean Nick Nurse should bench two future Hall of Famers. It does mean Philadelphia's real championship problem is harder than collecting famous names. The Sixers have to turn five players who can command the ball into lineups where every player has a clear job. If they solve that, this roster can overwhelm the Eastern Conference. If they do not, the super team label becomes a trap. So what is the model actually seeing? Why do Wade and Barlow show up so well? And what should the Sixers' real closing five look like when the game is on the line? First, the receipt. PhillyVoice used Basketball Index's custom lineup tool to test several possible five-man groups. The Maxey, Edgecombe, Wade, Barlow, and Embiid unit projected to score 121.7 points per 100 possessions and allow 110.1 that produces the plus 11.6 headline. The same exercise produced a LeBron-centered shooting lineup of Maxey and Fernie Simons, Wade, LeBron, and Aiden Bona. That group landed at plus 2.8. A smaller unit with Maxey, Brown, Wade, LeBron, and Barlow projected at plus 4.1. A Brown-led bench group finished at plus 1.2. Those numbers are projections, not game results. These five-man groups have not played a single official possession together. Basketball Index built its stable lineup model because raw lineup data can be wildly misleading in small samples. The tool estimates how skill sets may interact, and it is designed to become more reliable than simply pointing at one hot 68-minute stretch. But a projection still cannot predict chemistry, health, coaching adjustments, or the version of a 41-year-old LeBron that arrives in April. The responsible conclusion is not that the computer hates stars. The conclusion is that the computer rewards complementary jobs. Look at the plus 11.6 group. Maxey is the perimeter engine. Embiid is the interior engine. Edgecombe supplies, speed, pressure, and secondary creation. Then Wade and Barlow do something stars are rarely asked to do: affect the possession without demanding that the possession belong to them. Wade can defend multiple positions, space toward the weak side, rebound, and move the ball. Barlow can screen, roll, crash the glass, and cover ground defensively. Neither player needs 15 dribbles to feel involved. That matters because basketball has only one ball. Usage is not automatically additive. If four stars all create their best value by controlling the same possession, the fourth creator may add less than a role player who protects the other three. Think about it like traffic. Maxey wants a runway. Brown wants a lane to attack. LeBron wants to read the help. Embiid wants space around the nail in the block. Put all four into one half-court possession, and every decision must happen quickly, or the floor shrinks. Wade does not ask the offense to stop. Barlow does not ask for an isolation. Their value is that they keep the expensive machinery moving. This is diminishing returns, and it is the real warning inside the projection. More talent raises the ceiling. Too many overlapping jobs can lower the efficiency of every star at the same time. Now comes the part the projection cannot reduce to one number. LeBron is not arriving in Philadelphia to win a box score contest. The Sixers need him to organize the possessions that have collapsed on them in the playoffs for years. Last season at age 41, he still averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds across 60 games. He also averaged 23.2 points, 7.3 assists, and 6.7 rebounds in the playoffs. Philadelphia can put the ball in his hands as the primary initiator without asking him to defend point guards. That changes Maxey's job. Instead of manufacturing every advantage from a dead stop, Maxey can sprint into handoffs, attack a rotating defense, and punish closeouts. It changes Embiid's job too. LeBron can enter the ball earlier, reject a screen when the help cheats, or find Embiid in the middle after the defense commits two players to the ball. And it changes late game possessions. When the first action dies, LeBron can call the second action before the shot clock becomes an emergency. The model may prefer a cleaner balance of roles during the regular season. In a playoff game when the opponent knows every set, Philadelphia will still need somebody who can diagnose the defense in real time. That is why LeBron is not optional. His role simply has to be precise. Jaylen Brown creates the opposite debate. He just finished a career season at 28.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.1 assists. He is a five-time All-Star, a Finals MVP, and a proven two-way playoff wing. But his best possessions often begin with the ball in his hands and space to attack. That can overlap with LeBron, Maxey, and Embiid. The answer is not to turn Brown into a corner decoration. The answer is to make him the most dangerous pressure release in basketball. When LeBron and Embiid force the first rotation, Brown should catch against a defense that is already tilted. One hard drive can become a finish, a foul, or a kickout. When the starters sit, Brown should control a bench unit and hunt mismatches before the defense gets comfortable. He also takes pressure off the older stars on defense. Brown can accept a difficult wing assignment that LeBron should not carry for 82 games. He can switch, rebound, and run after stops. The projection dislikes a Brown-led unit because models can punish turnovers, ball dominance, and limited playmaking for others. But the postseason regularly creates possessions where a strong wing must beat one defender anyway. Philadelphia does not need less Jaylen Brown. It needs Jaylen Brown at the moments when his particular violence changes the game. The word that solves this roster is staggering. Start Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, LeBron, and Embiid. Let the spectacle breathe, then separate the creators before their jobs begin to overlap. One lineup family should belong to Maxey and Embiid. Surround their two-man game with Edgecombe, Wade, and Barlow. That is the projected plus 11.6 group, and it gives Maxey and Embiid maximum control without sacrificing defense or pace. A second lineup family should belong to LeBron. Pair him with shooting, a hard roller, and at least one strong defender. Simons can stretch the defense. Bona can sprint into screens and protect the rim. Wade can patch the weak side. A third group should let Brown cook. Put him beside quick decisions and enough spacing to attack one-on-one. Give him minutes where he is the unquestioned first option, especially when LeBron or Embiid is resting. The goal is not to keep two stars on the bench. The goal is to keep at least two stars on the floor while giving every unit a recognizable identity. That also protects the regular season. LeBron does not need to carry ordinary February possessions. Embiid does not need to play every minute with four high-usage teammates. Brown and Maxey can maintain pressure while the veterans sit. Nick Nurse now has several strong options. The only danger is indecision. Here's where the phrase best lineup becomes misleading. The best closing five against Boston may not be the best five against New York. The group protecting a lead may not be the group that needs a three. Philadelphia should build multiple closing identities now before the playoffs force the decision. The offensive closing five is Maxey, Brown, LeBron, Embiid, and the best shooter available for that matchup. LeBron organizes. Maxey bends the defense with speed. Brown attacks the weak side. Embiid owns the middle. The defensive closing five replaces some shooting with Edgecombe or Wade. Brown handles the toughest wing. Edgecombe pressures the point of attack. Wade switches and rebounds. LeBron can conserve energy for the possession that follows. Against the switching team, Barlow may matter because he can set screens, roll, and defend without stopping the ball. Against the rim protector, Simons may matter because the defense cannot abandon him. And if one of the stars is struggling, Nick Nurse has to coach the game in front of him, not the names printed on the lineup graphic. That is the uncomfortable part of a super team. The fifth closer is not the only variable. On some nights, the correct choice may be which four stars actually close together. The Sixers do not need one perfect lineup. They need a menu of answers that the opponent cannot solve first. Here's the real question. Does Philadelphia's best lineup really exclude LeBron James and Jaylen Brown? No, not as a universal basketball truth. The plus 11.6 projection is a valuable warning, not a final verdict. It says Maxey and Embiid become terrifying when the other three players complement them. It says low usage defense and spacing can be more valuable than adding another player who needs to create. Playoff basketball lives beyond any one projection. LeBron supplies the decision-making Philadelphia has lacked. Brown supplies a championship-tested wing for ugly possessions. Those skills become more valuable when scouting sharpens and games tighten. The real test is whether everybody accepts a smaller job so the team can create a bigger result. Maxey must move without the ball. Brown must attack, bend defenses, and dominate selected units. LeBron must organize without controlling every shot. Embiid must screen, pass, and punish the matchup before the double team arrives. Edgecombe, Wade, and Barlow must make the stars easier to use. If that happens, Philadelphia has the deepest set of playoff answers of the Embiid era. If it does not, the same star power that makes this team terrifying will make every late game decision more complicated. The Philly Sports Truth verdict is simple. The Sixers' best lineup is not five names. It is five jobs that fit together. Nick Nurse has enough talent to win the East. Now he has to prove he can organize it. Which fifth player should close the biggest game? VJ Edgecombe, Dean Wade, or somebody else? Put your lineup in the comments. Subscribe to Philly Sports Truth for the evidence behind every Sixers headline.